Inflation hurts everyone. But what if inflation is not just a mistake? What if governments actually benefit from it? If inflation makes ordinary people poorer, why do governments again and again create the conditions that allow it to happen? Because inflation can act like a hidden tax. When governments raise taxes, people notice. They resist. They vote against it. But inflation is different. There's no announcement, no bill, no vote. Your groceries cost more, your rent rises, your savings buy less. And quietly, the government's burden becomes easier to carry. But inflation does something else. It makes debt easier to repay. Governments borrow huge amounts of money to fund wars, to stimulate economies, to rescue failing institutions, to promise growth and stability. But when inflation rises, that debt is repaid with weaker money. The number stays the same, but the value changes. In other words, inflation allows governments to pay yesterday's promises with cheaper money tomorrow. And this is why inflation can become politically useful. Raising taxes creates backlash. Cutting spending creates anger. Defaulting creates crisis. But inflation spreads the pain quietly, slowly, gradually, almost invisibly. This is why inflation is rarely just an economic accident. It is often a political shortcut, a silent transfer, a tax without a vote. And history shows this pattern again and again. Empires weakened coins, states expanded money, debt grew, and inflation followed. The methods change, but the logic stays the same. Inflation hurts everyone, but for governments, it can buy time. Time to delay hard decisions, time to manage debt, time to keep promises alive just a little longer. This is just the beginning. Because history shows this pattern again and again, from the Roman Empire to modern economies today. Full story in the long video. This is Hidden Pages, where money, power, and history collide.